All right. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your caster for tonight. I am the Crushinator, and welcome to Series number 2 for me. We've got a Division D East matchup between Church of Murky and Derk Throws These. Now, as the teams look to form up here, the lobby is getting set. Let's take a look at these two teams and see what we're up against. The tail of the tape coming out here. Church of Murky coming into tonight's matchup 3-1 in their match record, 6-4 in their map record. In terms of map choices, they've chosen very heavily to go to Volskaya Foundry and Infernal Shrines with 4 and 3 picks respectively. In terms of their hero choices, they've favored ETC with 4 out of 10 games played, Greymane 4 out of 10, and also Deathwing played 3 out of their 10 games. They have quite a number of heroes at that 3 games played mark, Deathwing the most notable of that pack. Moving over to Derk Throws These, coming in at 1 win, 3 losses in their match record, 4 and 6 in their map record, a very mirrored start compared to Church of Murky. Where they start to deviate, though, is in their map choices. They have actually never chosen the same map twice. So I just put up the latest maps they've chosen, which are Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow. If we look down at their hero choices, most played Greymane at 5 of their 10 games so far, followed closely by Malfurion at 5 games and Garrosh at 4 games. So we've got one team very locked into the maps that they want to be playing on, and another that'll play pretty much anywhere that they would like to play. So we head back to me as the teams are starting to form up here. Both teams waiting on a couple players to join the lobby before we get started. This matchup, Church of Murky did have the coin flip and called it. They ended up choosing map to start, so they will get their favored Volskaya Foundry right off the bat here. Teams are starting to filter into the lobby. We've still got a couple minutes before our official 8:30 p.m. start time. And I'm interested to see how this first game is going to go. A very, very familiar map here for Church of Murky. This will be their 5th game on Volskaya Foundry, 5 of 11. So definitely no stranger to the strategy here on Volskaya Foundry. Just waiting on 2 more players to join the lobby here. I did a bit of a derp in my first series today. I forgot to update my stream title with the correct team names. I'm sure that was very confusing for the folks that showed up. Luckily, they saw the teams and the overlays, but they probably looked and went, that's not the match that I thought it was going to be. But I've got it under control. The stream title's good. We're ready to go. This is, in fact, Church of Murky versus Derk Throws These. Do not be fooled by my negligence. Both teams still waiting for their final player to be ready as we get ready for game number 1 here. Both of these teams very even on their map record so far. Middle of the pack teams here in Division D East. This game could definitely go either way. So we'll see. Church of Murky on paper looking to have the advantage with the familiar map choice, but Derk Throws These still no stranger to Volskaya Foundry, having played every map in the pool so far this season. As I continue to stall for time as the lobby forms. See, this is where having a co-caster would be great stuff, and I should look into that possibly for the future. I've been solo casting. This is my 5th solo cast with the Nexus Gaming series. I have not ventured to find a co-caster just yet, as I'm still sort of cutting my teeth on casting, as it were. But these, I gotta get a better preamble. I think I've got something good going with the tail of the tape thing. but I need something a little more. Maybe I just don't need to start quite so quickly. Maybe that's the key here. I'm starting pretty much right after the coin toss. Festivities are done. Maybe I just delay it just a little bit longer so that I'm not rambling without gameplay here too much. I'm out of coffee, which is very sad, though. My energy levels are good. I've got my water. Water very important for everybody, not just casters and players. You're out there watching. Go get yourself some water. You've got time. The game's not even starting yet. Go get your glass of water and get ready to watch. Both teams still waiting for their fifth to arrive. Oh, we've got one. We've got one. We're just so close to getting this game started for you fine folks this evening. I'm loving the portrait coordination coming out from Church of Murky and for Derk Throws These. We've got the Carbot Murky over for Church of Murky. And we've got the Carbot Garrosh for Derk Throws These. Really on point with the portrait game this evening. Alright, looks like all the players are into the lobby. And we're about ready to get going here. Give them the I'm ready whenever you are smiley face. And we'll see if we can get started here in just a moment. One team showing ready. Caster showing ready. Looks like we're about to get going. Oh, I'm so close. I'm running out of stuff to say, man. It's all right. I'll get better at this as we go. All right, we're getting started in just a moment, but before we jump into the draft, we're going to make sure that the captains on both sides are who they think they are. There we go. There we go. Almost skipped that there. But let's head into the map screen to figure out how we got to Volskaya Foundry as you hear that sounder in the background. In the preamble, Church of Murky did win the coin toss and chose map pick. In the lead up, they banned Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis Holdout, whereas Derk Throws These chose to ban Sky Temple and Dragonshire. And our first map chosen by Church of Murky is Volskaya Foundry. Let's head into the draft here. As Derk Throws These, getting rid of the ETC, a nice strong rotational tank here on Volskaya Foundry. Taken away. We'll see what the response is from Church of Murky. This being their favorite map, showing it on most, if not, is it more than half? I think it's slightly less than half. Is it more? I believe they're 6 of 11. They've played this map more than all the other maps combined. They choose to get rid of that Zool. Very strong wave clear. Oh, here on Volskaya Foundry, can do a double soak, can do a bottom lane hard push. Hard to say no to the Zool value here. It'll be a Deathwing ban coming out from Derk Throws These. Deathwing, a common pick from Church of Murky. So a well-scouted ban there from Derk Throws These. Church of Murky considering their final opening ban. Will it be another off-lane banned away, or do they have something else in mind? Let's find out. It'll be a Johanna ban. So with ETC and Johanna banned away, these very standard high meta tanks are out. Derk Throws These now has the option. Will they pick up that favored Greymane? And it looks like they will. They want to make sure that their favorite comfort pick is available to them on this map. Church of Murky now has the double pick in response. With Greymane gone, they may want to look to pick up their auto-attack PvE assassin at this point to prevent them banned. They're actually going to go with a Li Ming Sylvanas combo. Sylvanas, a very strong hero here on Volskaya Foundry with that Merc Queen Taladon 4 combined with the map turrets that you can get from the camps. actually increases those turret powers immensely. And Li Ming, with the objective not being in any lane, gets to provide poke from all of the different angles. Very strong hero here. A Garrosh and a Jaina coming out from Derk Throws These. Garrosh being a tank that they pick very often, so it looks like they're going for the throw, the stun, and the Jaina blow up with Greymane supporting. They want to get as many picks as possible here on Volskaya Foundry. Now, will we see a Malfurion ban come out from Church of Murky? This is a common pick from Derk Throws These. Will it get sniffed out here by Church of Murky? No, they're going to ban the Varian. An interesting choice given that Garrosh already picked up on the side of Derk Throws These. Interesting what their thought process was there. I suppose they want to make sure that they don't have the taunt coming in from both fronts with an already very attackable squishy health bars from Li Ming and Sylvanas. They want to make sure that that frontline pressure isn't too strong. We've got an Anubarak ban coming out from the side of Derk Throws These. Anubarak very good at shutting down Garrosh by just laying out that cocoon or laying out the multiple stuns and providing those beetles to get in his range to muck up all those throws. The Anduin, chosen by Church of Murky, a very standard healer against Garrosh in order to save those who may get thrown backwards. And with other tank options not on the table, they do go with the Muradin here on Volskaya Foundry. Muradin, a decent dueling tank, can restore his own health and also siege down those towers if necessary. We see the Rhaegar and the Imperius coming out from the side of Derk Throws These, so they get pretty much everything they want out of this draft. The pick potential with the Garrosh, Imperius follow-up stun, blow up with J-Main, old J-Main there, Jaina, Greymane, and Rhaegar. J-Mainar. The J-Mainar follow-up after the Gimperius throw. And they're going to be looking for as many picks as they can get. And it'll be Arthas on the side of Church of Murky, supplying a little bit of extra front line alongside that Muradin, who sometimes can have a bit of difficulty holding the line versus a surging composition like Garrosh and Imperius. So, our teams are set. We're getting ready to go into game number 1 here on Volskaya Foundry. It's Church of Murky versus Derk Throws These. Let's get into it. Alright. Our 30-second bumper, not quite enough to get through this loading screen. You can see our lovely portraits on the side of Church of Murky with their Carbot Murkies, and Derk Throws These with their Carbot throwing Garroshes. Loading up into game number 1. Who's got the potato computer? It's probably me! And we will see what happens. Here we go, the bar's starting to fill, and we're going to get into game number 1 right about now. On the left in the blue, we have Church of Murky, with Shock playing the Muradin. Orion will be playing the Sylvanas. Begully will be on Anduin. Jaysho playing the Li Ming, and Redbeard bringing that Arthas. On the right, we have Derk Throws These with Rootbeer Guy playing the Greymane, Combat Wombat on Imperius, MBB on the Garrosh, Fizzle playing Rhaegar, and throwing those B-steps is Derk on the Jaina. Let's see if we get any sort of Sylvanas pressure in the bottom lane early. It looks like the team's heading towards that mid lane, so we won't see any pressure onto the bottom tower just yet. MBB trying to stay out of sight here, but Redbeard scouting out the Garrosh. We've got an early throw and a stun into tower range, but Anduin with a big save right off the bat. Very well done by Begully there. Redbeard going to head down to the bottom lane, and the rotations have begun. A bit of a wave clear advantage on the side of Derk Throws These just with that Jaina. And Jaina actually heading towards the bottom lane here with Imperius in the top. A very interesting setup here from Derk Throws These as we see a throw onto Muradin to no profit there. Jaysho and Orion going to work on this top XP versus Imperius. We've got alternating rotations here coming out from both teams, not deciding to agree on the standard top-mid rotation. Instead, we've got a mid-bottom for Derk Throws These and a top-mid for Church of Murky. Here we see Fizzle and Root Beer Guy working on that turret as soon as it becomes available at 1 minute. Anduin and Muradin are a little behind on this, but Orion is going to come in to help that out. Knowing that they're behind, Muradin is going to make sure that there's no invade onto that camp. Just making doubly sure since they know they're behind on this, but instead, looks like Derk Throws These is going to want to try to control this heal camp. A very quick clear. Shock trying to get onto the point, and we're going to have a confrontation here. Big root from Arthas. The Li Ming getting as many bombs as possible. Shock managing to escape with that small amount of health, but Anduin feels the wrath of Imperius and goes down. Arthas, not long for this world either. Derk Throws These did use their turret to gain that heal camp. Picked up by Dirk there, so there will be a turret advantage on the first objective for Church of Murky here. A kill, but the turret dropped at the same time, and the heal camp taken. Probably still a positive trade here for Derk Throws These, as the teams get back into lane, and a small experience advantage for Derk Throws These as well. The interesting rotation coming out from them showing dividends here in the early game. Both teams now starting their siege camps, with Rhaegar soloing it on the side of Derk Throws These, and we've got Anduin and Li Ming working on the siege camp here. Rhaegar actually probably going to beat them to the punch with that extreme wave clear from Lightning Shield. Does get it pretty much at the same time. He's actually going to delay that cap, a very good strategy here on Volskaya Foundry to let the opposing siege camp push into your wall so that you have an easier time clearing it, and your opponents will have to spend more time later into the first objective clearing that objective. Church of Murky taking the opening control of this first objective as the camps go to clash in the mid lane. With the wave clear on the side of Derk Throws these camps are actually going to meet roughly in the center here. Derk Throws These going to spend a little bit of time, use that Jaina W to clear out that camp, and now Church of Murky will have to respond. Keep that Sylvanas up top and try to get some time onto this point. Though the rest of Derk Throws These, there's going to be a bit of a confrontation here, as now they're starting to head down to Muradin to try to force him off this point. Though Muradin is going to be doing a pretty good job of keeping the Derk Throws These objective count at 0%, while Sylvanas clears that top lane. But with Jaina coming in, that's now a 5v3. Muradin is going to wisely back away as Garrosh looking for a throw, but not quite finding it here versus Jaysho. Sylvanas is now clearing up that camp and will be able to join shortly as the objective now starts to tick in favor of Derk Throws These. We're going to have some sort of confrontation here in the mid lane. Arthas down low versus the Rhaegar, looking for a bit of counter wave clear. Both teams at level 7, so we will have an even fight here. Shock starting to step onto the point. Moving in on the Garrosh, who pops unstoppable, looking for Big Gully, but cannot catch him in time. A lot of damage going out onto Garrosh. He's going to have to start moving away. Heal camp and turret are dropped. That heal camp now wiped up. Orion in a bit of trouble, pulled by Anduin, but Sylvanas does go down. Root Beer Guy manages to escape the counter kill. Garrosh very low here and does get killed by the Li Ming. Still having trouble stepping onto that point though with the turret there, and with Sylvanas down, it looks like the first objective going over to Derk Throws These. They're going to want to take this front wall and then move up to the top lane to get set up for the next objective. Looks like they're going to try to get the fadeaway onto that, but it's not going to work out. Choosing instead to get straight to the top lane, the much more important wall to get here on Volskaya Foundry with that first objective. Actually skipping the front wall and wanting that well, and they will get it. Choosing only to get the top tower here, leaving the bottom one up. and the objective will start to back away. Jaina and Imperius will be just fine, as Arthas working on getting that experience back. Level 8 to level 9 here. Derk throws these looking very strong in the opening minutes versus Church of Murky. Objective still up, so nobody is able to go and control their turret camp just yet, actually fully abandoning the objective in the mid lane as it expires. And now the camps starting to come online. Siege camps available for both teams. Turret camp, oddly, not there. But the turret camp on the side of Church of Murky is up. Very interesting there. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the turret camp on the side of Derk throws these. It is strangely missing. And here we have some posturing around the heal camp from Derk throws these once again. Rhaegar picking up that siege camp very early. Meanwhile, Sylvanas and Li Ming working on this as we have a bit of a engage here in the middle lane. A throw onto Muradin, but he has his E to get on out of there. Actually gets taunted, but Anduin catches him mid-air, using that leap of faith to save the Muradin. Still looking for where the heck that turret is on the side of Derk throws these. I'm not sure if that's a bug or what on earth happened there, as we've got a big engage in the top lane. Shock going way in. I think he got thrown and then had to jump out. It looked like he dwarf tossed twice as Garrosh goes down for the chase from Arthas. Just too much slow coming out on the side of Church Murky. Now Sylvanas starting to show value here, turning off that turret, keeping Redbeard safe as they push down this very important top wall for the first objective. This turret has now shown itself. My heart is now out of my throat that we had some sort of busted game here. Everything is as it should be. Heal camp going over to the side of Church of Murky. Both siege camps are spent. They will not be available to push during this first objective. But with this turret finally showing itself, looks like Church of Murky looking for a possible invade. Redbeard not landing that root onto Fizzle, as it's going to be a 5v3 for this turret. Imperius and Greymane are not here right now. Garrosh taking a whole lot of damage. Rhaegar going down first. We got a silence onto Garrosh. Li Ming cannot quite land the orb onto a retreating MBB, and that will be an extra turret. 2 turrets for the side of Church of Murky, and a third turret available in about 30 seconds on their safe side here. Level 12 to level 12. Church of Murky with a very slight experience advantage, while Rootbeer Guide looks to counter Redbeard's push down in the bottom lane. The team's now at a stalemate in terms of forts, keeps, and levels, as we do see level 13 come out for Church of Murky. About a half a level remaining for Derk throws these. They're going to have to make that up as quickly as possible in order to contest this objective. Big Gully looking for a bit of damage onto Fizzle. Soften him up a bit before the objective comes up in about 3 seconds here. It'll be 4v4 in the meantime. Derk throws these, understanding that they need that level 13 before any sort of engage, so going for a quick clear in the mid, and that'll be level 13 as Church of Murky takes initial control of this objective. Shock looking for a possible team fight will now retreat and keep that percentage of flowing. Derk throws these, looks like they're giving up position here, and Church of Murky aggresses and actually takes out that well. Orion used the Haunting Wave to get in there. MBB with the defensive throw, making sure that trait doesn't get too much value from the Sylvanas. Derk throws these, actually invading the turret camp of Church of Murky, getting a turret of their own, so it's now a 2-1 turret advantage. And the heal camp on the side of Church of Murky, Sendragosa going out to turn off this fort. And they will get the snipe and be able to retreat onto the objective that is now at 95%. Combat Wombat stepping onto the point to stop the objective from going over to Church of Murky. And now we've got an engaged Shock going into the back. Getting thrown in, getting thrown out. Anduin with the big protect, but Greymane will go down first. Fizzle and Derk are on the retreat. 3 health on Rhaegar and goes down to the Muradin stun. Another stun here onto Imperius, and Imperius will go down. Very well done from Church of Murky there. Using every advantage possible, understanding where Derk was on the map. Where Derk throws these was on the map, Derk being the Jaina in this matchup. and knowing what they need to do. Mostly ignoring this mid wall, as it is going to be the 4th objective that pushes mid. Heading down to this bottom lane to soften up this wall, take out this well possibly, so they have an even greater advantage on objective C. Looks like Shock is slowing down the Garrosh in the mid lane. As the Protector works on this front wall, is going to get both towers, and they're going onto the well. It looks like they might even get the fort as well, with the double fort turn off from Sylvanas and the Punisher and the Protector. Shock making sure that Derk throws these does not come onto them. Welly, the Water Elemental, doing his best out there to clear that wave, but will get cleaned up. And looks like they may have an opportunity to even go onto this keep wall. As I remember to turn on the talents once again because I'm good at this. Shock getting thrown in, jumping out again. Garrosh not finding the throws that they're looking for in this matchup just yet. Muradin definitely is a roadblock in that plan of MBB. Level 16 here for Church of Murky means that they have a talent tier advantage as they rotate over to the mid lane. They do see Derk throws these moving onto their own turret camp, choosing not to invade, but instead going for that heal camp, knowing that they have the team fight advantage at the moment. They're going to pick up that heal camp. Once again, oh, this turret is playing games with my heart. Coming up here on the side of Church of Murky was missing from the map once again. Derk throws these, picking up that siege camp as quickly as possible, hoping to get it once again before the next objective in the bottom lane pops up. MBB looking for a possible engage here, but Redbeard is ready for him, chasing him away as Church of Murky grabs that turret camp. And we see Sylvanas and Anduin working on this camp of their own, able to get it second to Derk throws these. Level 16's now coming in for Derk throws these. We're on even talent tiers for the meantime, though about a level advantage on experience, so it's scaling on the side of Church of Murky. Let's see what Derk throws these wants to do with this time between objectives. Looks like Combat Wombat looking for a possible bush gank here. This turret still another minute and a half before it comes up, so these teams at a bit of a stalemate. Church of Murky choosing to get this tower here while they've got the chance, using the Li Ming siege. Shock getting on out of there, and it looks like the siege camp was never actually capped on the side of Church of Murky. I didn't notice that before. They're saving it for that C objective as it's able to push in the furthest lane. A very nice strategic play here from Church of Murky. Here we see the full 5 rotate here at the top, but they're not going to find anything up there as Church of Murky now rotating away. Church of Murky wants to make sure that they don't get into a battle around the bushes. They want a full 5-on-5 engagement to not let Garrosh do what he does best, and that's find people in rotation. Unstoppable popped here, making sure he doesn't get blown into tower range. As both teams now just in a wave clear battle until Objective C comes up. MBB desperately looking for picks, but Church of Murky just showing nothing to get picked here. Meanwhile, Sylvanas having a wall there to retreat to, has to be very careful. Derk throws these, looking for a bush gank here, jamming 4 heroes into the tiniest of spaces. Let's see, Church of Murky going for the safe rotation. Arthas is looking a little bit caught out here. Let's see if he gets found by Derk and Derk. He does get caught and absolutely annihilated. Did not take the safe way with the rest of Church of Murky, and that is going to be a 5 versus 4 advantage. For Derk throws these right at the start of this objective. They do pick up their turret. That's 2 turrets on the side of Derk throws these, and 1 healing camp on the side of Church of Murky, along with 1 of the turrets themselves. Looks like they want Shock. Shock manages to get away before Garrosh finds him. 26 seconds on Arthas. It looks like there's not a whole lot Church of Murky is going to be able to do here. They retreat to their turret camp. They may decide to go top and get this support camp. Looks like they're peeling away to do that. Derk throws these, is going to have to keep an eye on the rest of the map. As we do see Sylvanas going up, they're going to have a 2 heal camp advantage. As Derk throws these, maintains presence on the objective with Fizzle and Combat Wombat. Jaina heading to the top to make sure that these catapults don't deal too much damage to this top wall. Church of Murky, Arthas now being up, are seeing if they have time to jump onto this objective. Only 75%. They do have time to jump on this if they are quick. Derk throws these a little bit behind. And they do manage to get down here for a team fight. First healing beacon is out. Turret goes down for Derk throws these. It looks like we're about to have a turret down for Church of Murky. Both turrets down for Derk throws these, actually. And they're going to get cleaned up quickly without an engage. Bloodlust is used. Ults going out on both sides. MBB with a huge taunt. Rootbeer guy going for the blow up onto Orion. And there goes Sylvanas. MBB very low in the back line, but not a lot of damage left on the side without Sylvanas. Derk going down to Muradin there. Muradin being able to live a whole lot. Rootbeer guy's going to have to be careful there. Garrosh actually getting blown up. Lean being reset, starting to come in. Vampirius is caught. Rhaegar is caught. And it is a 4-for-1 for Church of Murky. They do manage to get the Sylvanas. But once the once the Jaina went down, Li Ming got all those resets. It became ball game from there. And we've got an Objective C barreling down the bottom lane here, going for the keep. It's 20 seconds until Jaina is up. They may be able to pull a core rush out of this. Very quickly burning this keep. Let's see if they are going to go for it. They have a level 20 to 19 advantage, and they will be pushing onto the core with Greymane doing his best to clear this lane. Shock jumping onto the Greymane, missing that stun, but so much damage going to come out here onto the core. Shielding is already gone. Derk is back on the map, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. 50% here on the core. Rootbeer guy getting chased out by Muradin, and he actually gets the kill. A lot of damage coming out onto Shock. Shock gets taunted and will go down, but the core at 10%, and that will be it. GG to Church of Murky with a great opening game. Very well done from both teams there. Derk throws these a very strong opening game, with Church of Murky making those halftime adjustments, not giving Garrosh any opportunity to find someone except for that one Arthas kill with an unsafe rotation and an absolute massacre of the Lich King. But ultimately, it was the Li Ming resets and the unkillable Muradin, who didn't actually have the one death in the early game, unkillable in the late game, and it'll be Church of Murky picking up the victory. We saw Greymane with a whole bunch of damage with that Cursed Bullet, actually topping out the experience, the siege damage, and the hero damage, but it just was not quite enough to overcome that Li Ming Sylvanas combo. Very well done from both teams there. Derk throws these amazing early game. A very unorthodox strategy caught Church of Murky off guard there, but the adjustments were made, the win condition was found, and the win was earned by Church of Murky. Thank you very much for those follows as that game progressed. Appreciate the support from you, everyone in chat, as I message the captains to see where we're going for game number 2. Let's see what we're gonna do as I update the score. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Derk has chosen first pick. So now let's find our other captain to see which map they want to go to. As I look on my list, where's my captain's list? I should get better at this. Church of Murky, we're looking for Redbeard. Redbeard, where you at? There you are. Whisper. Oh, Redbeard is not taking whispers right now. That's a bit of a problem. Let's look for that let's just use the NGS channel here. At Church of Murky. TTT takes first pick, your map choice. There we go. A very nice game number 1 there. And Derk throws these, has chosen a first pick, so it'll be up to Church of Murky for where we're going. Game number 2. I hope they got my message. Because Redbeard is not accepting whispers from people not on their friends list, which is a very safe thing to do here in Heroes of the Storm, because usually when a stranger is sending you messages, it's not about very nice things. Let me check if there's anyone else that I can message directly. I could try Orion. There we go. We've got a link there. Looks like we're gonna go to Infernal Shrines. So Church of Murky getting the 2 maps that they want here in this series. Infernal Shrines will be the choice. I'll get loaded into this lobby. An accidental join. Gonna get this lobby sorted out, and then we'll get straight into game number 2. Church of Murky versus Derk throws these. Make sure the captain's on the right spot. Team 2 is getting first pick. Fantastic. All right. Letting the teams know that I am in fact ready. And they will be ready to go here in just a moment, going into game number 2 of this series. Church of Murky has had map pick both times. Looks like we've got a quick bio here. So we'll get started in just a moment. Interesting. I suppose it makes sense. With the map choices in the past for both of these teams, Derk Throws These has shown very little concern for which map they end up going to. They have a very particular composition that they like to play, and it can really be executed on any particular map, whereas Church of Murky definitely showing that they have maps of choice, and they do have some flexible strategies on those maps. They're willing to give up that first pick in order to get the map that they want. Both teams still getting ready here. Making sure everyone is hydrated, making sure everyone is situated and ready to go. As we are waiting to get into this lobby, let's take a look at what other games you may be going to see after this one concludes. Starting at now, actually, are 3 games coming in on the Nexus Gaming series. We've got 2 Division E matchups along with the C East. You can see those on the NGS Discord, which has been linked in chat. And then tonight at 11:30 Eastern, Weenus, with a second series of the night, has a B West matchup between Spooky Ghosts and Bronze 6. Looks like teams are starting to get ready here. Derk still preparing themselves, getting themselves psyched, getting ready for game number 2 here. Gotta make sure everyone's cool and comfortable for this intense, fiery Diablo setting on Infernal Shrines. Oh, let's do a little posture check, shall we? See what happens As I've got carpeted floors, and I've got, you know, the carpet protector so as to not tear it up with my chair. But you get grooves in it after you sit there for a while, and then you start to slouch a little, and then you're not talking properly because you're not sitting up straight. Oh, so let's do a little posture check. Take some deep breaths, we're good to go. And as the draft starts, let's remind you of the map situation. As a reminder, Church of Murky winning the opening flip chose to ban Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis Holdout. Derk throws these, banning Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Game 1, we went to Volskaya Foundry at the behest of Church of Murky, where they also won. Derk throws these, chose to take first pick here in game number 2, so Church of Murky bringing us to Infernal Shrines. Let's jump into the draft here. As we see, Derk throws these, using that first ban on ETC once again, making sure that the big cowman does not ruin their day. ETC, a very nice tank into Garrosh specifically, alongside that Murd, having the W available to just boop away Garrosh at any time and the Q to slide out makes him a tough tank for a Garrosh pick comp to deal with. Another Zool ban coming out on the side of Church of Murky, this being another one of Zool's maps. Pretty much all maps are Zool maps at this point in time, but Infernal Shrines having those distant lanes, having that double soak potential, especially strong here. Another Deathwing ban coming out from Derk throws these. They've got a very straight line draft philosophy in mind here. Same bans as Volskaya Foundry for honestly a very similar map, so not too surprising to see those bans here. We are going to see a slight deviation on the side of Church of Murky. They're going to ban out the Kael'thas, not wanting to have the rumble in that pit with all those living bombs and the extra minions on that point. It'll be a Johanna first pick for MBB, not taking that Garrosh, so a bit of a different strategy, a bit of a different approach here from Derk throws these in game number 2. Now the first double pick here from Church of Murky. Let's see what their plan is here on Infernal Shrines. They are going to pick away that favored Greymane from Derk throws these and pick up their tank early to make sure that their favorite is not banned away in that second ban phase. Now without the Greymane available, let's see what Derk throws these wants to put in their backline. They're going to choose a Stukov, a very strong pick alongside that Johanna. Johanna great at keeping people still. Stukov able to drop down that silence, and they're actually going to pick up a Dahaka here on Infernal Shrines, so looking to get value in the off lane, join that objective as late as possible. They want to get an XP lead here on Infernal Shrines. We don't usually see offlane picks before the second ban, but Derk throws these obviously wanting to hide their DPS picks until after the bans go out. Church of Murky, interestingly, choosing to ban away the Sylvanas rather than look to pick it up. I guess they've got a different plan in mind for Infernal Shrines. Sylvanas very strong here, but it could be that with the Greymane on their side, they've got something else in mind. Li Ming is still available, though this is not one of her stronger maps. She is just a great hero in general. It'll be the Malfurion ban coming out from Derk throws these. With the Stukov already picked up, no reason to keep that Malfurion around. Malfurion, another very strong support here on Infernal Shrine, since everyone is grouped in that one area with those very specifically route-wide entrances. Means Malfurion can cover a lot of exits to that pit. And it's going to be a Tassadar coming out from Church of Murky, and a Rhaegar here. Rhaegar and Diablo, a very consistent pairing, either with the Ancestral Healing or with the Bloodlust. Tassadar won't be able to benefit quite as much from the increased attack speed, though the extra movement speed is never something to sneeze at. Final DPS picks coming out here from Derk throws these. Let's see how they want to deal with this Tassadar and Greymane. They're going to choose Lunara, and they're going to take away that Li Ming, leaving the off-laner pick to Church of Murky. What are they going to do versus this Dahaka? Leoric is open, a very strong Infernal Shrines hero. Malthael also open here on Infernal Shrines. They're actually going to choose the Thralls, so they're instead favoring a strong team fight off-laner rather than someone with that double soak potential. Going to be leaning on the strong wave clear from Rhaegar and Tassadar rather than having a big wave clear off-laner like Leoric or Malthael. So, the drafts are set. Teams are ready. We're going to go to Infernal Shrines. Let's get into game number 2. Alright, as we load into Infernal Shrines, we get to see those drafts one more time, along with the beautifully coordinated portraits once again. Derk throws these coming in with a very different style draft from game number 1. Not that pick blow-up comp from before. They're going to be working around the map a little bit with that Dahaka and Lunara. Whereas Church of Murky, looking for a similar style of composition with that controlling regen tank in the front and those high DPS assassins in the back. And here we go. On the left, it'll be your blue team, Church of Murky, with Redbeard playing the Thrall. Shock will be on the Diablo, Begully on the Rhaegar, Jaysho will be playing Tassadar, and Orion will be on the Greymane. On the right, in the red, it's Derk throws these with Rootbeer Guy playing the Lunara. Fizzle will be on Stukov. Derk will be playing Li Ming. Combat Wombat showing us that Dahaka dance. And NBB holding the front line with that Johanna. It's been a bit since I've seen a map without a Sylvanas on it. We're going to see how the teams are going to react around those towers, as there will be no shutting them down. Dahaka and Li Ming looking for a bit of damage onto this bottom tower. Li Ming could be looking for this bottom well here. Scouting out the Dahaka in the mid. Or scouting out the Diablo in the mid. And it looks like Derk is going for that bottom well. A very consistent Li Ming strategy on this map, while the rest of Church of Murky working on clearing this wave as quickly as possible. Derk is working hard here on this bottom well. Looks like Church of Murky is starting to realize it is going to go down as Thrall goes to his top lane, and that well will be taken out. Combat Wombat going to use some trickery here and is now going to dig to the top lane. A well-rehearsed strategy here coming out from Derk throws these on Infernal Shrines. So it'll be Dahaka versus Thrall here, and we get a quick stun onto Johanna. Iron Skin is used, and Johanna will walk away wondering if that was a mosquito or if Diablo in fact landed a stun. Both teams now starting their Goatman camps. Church of Murky picking it up very quickly as Shock looking to possibly engage here, but MBB with the catch. Here comes Church of Murky. They know that they're not quite done yet. There's going to be a big stun onto Lunara, but the rest of the team being caught out here by the Johanna. This could really go either way at this point. Shock low, but his backline is doing just fine, and it looks like they're going to start to back away. Or are they? Diablo looking for an engage. Gets the slam onto Stukov. Johanna again with a whole lot of control. Redbeard actually coming down to harass this Lunara. And it looks like Derk may have to run away. Johanna going down. The camp is reset. Li Ming is going to start throwing bombs onto this. Shock's going to have to be careful. But with Johanna down, Derk throws these is going to have to give up this Goatman camp. However, meanwhile, Dahaka is getting some value in the top lane. So with the camp going over to the side of Church of Murky, they will get that quick experience lead for level 4. Thrall will end up coming to catch this wave. And it looks like Orion looking to possibly sneak onto this bottom camp. Derk checking the smoke, but is down here alone as Stukov and Lunara have to try to save this bottom cannon tower, and they do save it by the skin of its teeth. Derk actually denied backing here by Tassadar. That's gonna mean he doesn't get to the objective quite as quickly. Orion and crew trying to get this bottom, and they do get the bottom tower. A bit of a gank attempt onto Thrall here does not work out. Thrall does manage to get away from the Dahaka and the Lunara as they start their Shaman camp. Shrine is activatable starting right now. Let's see if Church of Murky jumps on the opportunity to get it started. Shock will activate the minions, and it will be 3 versus 0 on the Shrine for now. Thrall finishing up his Lightning Quest as I throw up the talents once again. A 6-5 advantage. No talent tier advantage just yet, but a 17-19 minion advantage for Church of Murky. As Derk throws these, now starts to move on to the objective. It's a 5v5 team fight. Redbeard is in a bit of trouble here in the top, taking a whole lot of damage from that Lunara, and Thrall is going to go down on the side of Church of Murky. Derk throws these, starts to take advantage of the Shrine. However, 33 minions for Church of Murky. They may be able to poke this out with Tassadar without taking a proper team fight. Combat Wombat has to pop that essence, and it will manage to get away with the help of Stukov, but 38 minions on the side of Church of Murky, 39. They just need one more, and it will be going over to Church of Murky with the help of that Tassadar. Very nicely done there, getting that early Shrine lead, so they did not have to take a proper team fight. They are now up level 7 to level 6. Shock and Bigully hoping to get this tower here, as the rest of the members of Church of Murky splitting to keep that experience lead. Greymane uncontested in the bottom lane. The mid-fort wall is going down. Excuse me. MBB trying to drive away the rest of Church of Murky here as the Punisher is taken out. Greymane working on these bottom towers is going to get hit by a Li Ming combo, but does get that fort down. Now, Church of Murky pushing hard onto this bottom fort, but without that Sylvanas to turn it off, they're going to have to leave as Derk throws these, managing to push them back and actually keeping their will alive. That's going to be important for future objectives unless Church of Murky can find the time to snipe that down. Now, Church of Murky working on their goat camp at the same time as Derk throws these. Let's see if we get to see that invade once again, as the camp clear just not quite fast enough for Derk throws these. And they manage to pick it up before Diablo can get the charge in. Just fast enough on the side of Derk throws these. As now Orion in a little bit of trouble here. Gets hit by the Li Ming bomb, but manages to get away. Now Shock wants Lunara here with a quick flip on there without the leaping strike from Lunara. Actually managing to escape through the bottom tunnel for now. Orion, not enough of a chase. Does get hit by the orb, but will stay alive as Church of Murky moving on to this bottom neutral camp, as Thrall harassing Dahaka enough that he needed to back. Very nicely done here on the side of Church of Murky, getting all the experience they can, opening up about a half-level lead here as 9-9 before this second objective. Thrall once again making Dahaka's life miserable in the top lane, as the rest of Church of Murky, with bottom wall down, with mid wall down, top wall's now being worked on. Combat Wombat is just getting poked down mercilessly by that Thrall chain lightning. Derk throws these, looking for a possible push onto this bottom wall, as Greymane and Rhaegar take this Shaman camp. Instead of pushing the bottom, Derk throws these, looking for a possible engage, but Combat Wombat is caught out there, has to use the burrow. Gets stunned out by Dahaka, and that is going to be the... Gets stunned out by Diablo, and that will be the end of Combat Wombat for the time being, as a big push by Church of Murky onto this top wall. As the objective will be coming in the top lane, we will see an Arcane Punisher for objective number 2. MBB now caught out by that Tastar wall, but Stukov preventing further aggression with that Pool of Silence. MBB now starting to take a lot of damage there from that Thrall level 7 talent. Ancestral Wrath dealing a whole lot of damage to that very high health pool of Johanna. Dahaka now returning to the battlefield, looking for a bit of experience in the bottom lane. Will have that dig available to join the fight, and a lot of different angles you could join the fight from on this top shrine. Orion doing a good job of getting a very early lead here. Derk throws these, has to catch their lane up before they can move into this. Shock sees them coming, is scouted out by Derk. And Johanna using that Iron Skin very early to be able to walk in here. Thrall Earthquake is out, Apoc is out, a lot of stuns onto the side of Derk throws these. Stukov is going to get bitten by Rhaegar. Johanna going down to Thrall. Greymane taking out Dahaka. Root Beer guy taken out by Tassadar. Equal opportunity kills coming out on the side of Church of Murky. But Derk trying to get some pressure onto Thrall, but Thrall just too beefy. Not going down to the Calamity from Li Ming. That'll mean a free objective for Church of Murky in the top lane here as Thrall splits to make sure that the lanes do not get pressured out by that Dahaka when it reses, and an Arcane Punisher going to be pushing down the top lane. Still no forts down on the side of Derk throws these, so that passive experience trickle not coming into play just yet, but we will see it come into play shortly as Root Beer guy gets caught by Diablo, but Stukov with the quick trait to save. Shock actually taking a lot of damage from this. Manages to escape with that minus 40 armor debuff, doing a whole lot of work here. A good bait by Johanna takes the Punisher away from the fort, meaning they have the room to take it out before the bottom tower starts to go down. Thrall really pressuring out that Dahaka. A great counter pick here on Infernal Shrines, making sure that Dahaka is not going to get a lot done and take as much poke damage as possible. Meanwhile, Church of Murky wants to poke down this mid fort. Not a whole lot that throws these can do here. Li Ming throwing out as much poke as possible, but the rest of the team not in position there. Now they're going to use this overwhelming pressure and level 13 talent advantage to push right onto this camp on the side of Derk throws these. They'll be rotating right down to the Goatman camp neutral, and then back up to the Goatman camp on their side for a triple cap and a huge spike in experience, as we see briefly 14 to 12 for the side of Church of Murky. Derk throws these, knows what's happening, but there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Shock looking for Lunara to step out a little too far, but Lunara smartly backing off there. And it looks like they're not going to start their Goatman camp just yet. They want this bottom fort. They want that trickle experience going into the late game. And with the Goatman camp and the Tassadar burning this down, it will go down. That's 6 structures to 3 on the side of Church of Murky. Getting a huge trickle experience lead here in the mid-game. As you can see, almost double the mercenary experience coming out for Church of Murky, along with a lot of hero kills in this opening salvo. Now seeing the opportunity to start their Shaman camp, the mid-shrine will be a Mortar Punisher, as the shrine will be activating very soon. Choosing to cap that Shaman camp right away. All the members of Church of Murky healthy, happy, full of mana, ready for the next team fight. Shock making sure there's no funny business in that middle vent. They're just content to sit back, get level 16, and wait for the next tilted team fight based on the experience advantage that they've had so far. Dahaka looking for a poor rotation maybe, sees the rest of Church of Murky moving by, but is not in any position to engage just yet. We've got a big camp pushing in the top lane. That'll have to be dealt with by Derk throws these quickly unless they wanted to get it onto that wall. Looks like Dahaka is going to go deal with it, while the rest of Church of Murky is pushing onto this bottom keep wall. Derk throws these really being pulled all over the map here by the heavy rotations of Church of Murky. While Johanna coming in to try to disrupt this siege, using the Iron Skin early again. Here comes Derk and Combat Wombat. They want that Tassadar. They get the drag, and actually Tassadar gets blown up. Very nicely done by Combat Wombat to find that drag. Meanwhile, MBB wants to slow down Shock and Redbeard. They do manage to find the Thrall. A big slow coming out, and it will be Thrall going down. A great chase here from Li Ming. Shock trying his best to save Rhaegar. The tower's now starting to come into play. MBB taking a whole lot of armor damage, and Diablo will get chased down. With the heavy slows coming out from Johanna and Stukov, they've got great chase potential. Diablo losing those souls, managing to come back in just 5 seconds, but with Thrall and Tassadar still dead. Not the best trade there coming out from Church of Murky. Diablo will have to spend some time getting those souls. As Dahaka still working on that top wave clear, the wall was taken out. But Derk Throws These now has full control of this shrine. Members of Church of Murky now up. Thrall looking to join the fight, but Derk Throws These with a 20 minion advantage right now. Tassadar looking to get a bit of bulk, but it'll be 30 minions down for Derk Throws These, and Church of Murky will not be able to contest, as the first Punisher that they have earned is going to be pushing down the middle lane for Derk Throws These. Thrall, still working on that experience in the off lane, is letting this Mortar Punisher come in. Shock baits the Punisher over the wall, but oh no, a drag onto Tassadar means that, oh, the Unstoppable not enough. Tassadar getting picked again by the Dahaka. Very nicely done, and this Punisher may move up to the keep wall and get a lot of value here. Thrall still in the bottom lane, now starting to come back as this Punisher is baited over the wall once again. This time it will be going down quickly as all cannons start to fire. And the keep wall taken out by Derk Throws These. Some very nice team fights here. Shock looking for an engage, but is caught by Dahaka and will have to try to escape here. A lot of slows coming out from Derk Throws These, and that's going to be a dead Diablo getting pulled out of position and having to run the long way. But with the chase potential of Derk Throws These, that long way gets a whole lot longer. Derk Throws These really starting to stagger these deaths and get control of this map back. They want this mid keep, but with only one down, they may have a little bit of trouble pushing onto this. Tassadar is now back on the map, stepping out a little bit far, but managing to escape the Johanna Condemn. Looks like this mid keep is just a pipe dream for now, but with the way these team fights are going, it may be in the hands of Derk Throws These sooner rather than later. A quick camp steal from Derk Throws These, denying experience to Church of Murky. They're going to head onto the Goatman camp on their side of the map. They may choose to rotate down onto the bottom camp, but without minion pressure, that is a risky proposition. Instead, Church of Murky choosing to jump onto their Shaman camp to pick up the experience and clear mid lane. And now, Derk Throws These taking the chance without vision and does get this bottom Goatman camp very nicely done, getting as much advantage as possible out of those team fights. Derk Throws These now looking to siege down the bottom lane, but without minions there, they're going to have a bit of trouble, as now Church of Murky thinking that they can possibly find Derk Throws These, finds this camp unattended, and will pick it up very quickly. A very nice and aggressive rotation from Church of Murky, realizing they still have that advantage. They're still on even tiers. We'll get both Shaman camps pushing, however, they will get quickly cleared up by Derk Throws These. Meanwhile, the rest of Church of Murky rotating down, looking for that experience, looking for level 20, as Greymane, Rhaegar, and Diablo wanting to clean up this camp before it gets too much more done. Thrall hanging out in the mid lane. A little bit risky versus this pick comp of Johanna and Dahaka, but is being safe here. Shrine activating. It is a frozen Punisher in the top lane that will turn off structures. So this is a very important objective here for both teams, as they're looking to have level 20 available on both sides as this objective comes up. Dahaka making sure that level 20 will be there for Derk Throws These as the objective spawns. No camps available on the map, so teams are just going to be hanging hard, chilling to the max, waiting for this shrine to activate. Derk Throws These not there as the shrine pops, so Church of Murky is going to get a bit of a head start here. Level 20 for both teams is here, so we've got the maximum teamfight potential as 10 minions go down for the side of Church of Murky. Redbeard slowing down that rotation with the Thunderstorm talent, providing those slows. It is a 20 minion advantage. Combat Wombat denied the flank, at least for now, as Church of Murky being forced into a corner. Apocalypse is coming out along with the Earthquake. Shock taking a bunch of damage. Tassadar getting jumped on by the Lunara, but is regenerating health quickly. MBB's Unbreakable is popped. It'll be Tassadar going down, but the counter kills onto Stukov and Lunara as Johanna starts to back away. Derk is using the blink to get away, but is caught by the Diablo. Can Begully get it? Redbeard pokes down Johanna. Begully chasing down Li Ming, and that is a 4-for-1 as Greymane starts to move and finish this Punisher. With 4 members down for at least 30 seconds, this could be a core call here. Combat Wombat doing what he can in the off lane, knowing that he can back at any time. This Punisher, very menacing, this Frozen Punisher. Church of Murky pushing down this core. 17 seconds until Stukov is back. A whole 30 seconds till Johanna is here. This could be game as the keep goes down and we move on to core. Church of Murky is going to have to be careful about this positioning. This core does a lot of rooting, and that mid keep is still up. Combat Wombat doing his best to control the members of Church of Murky, but is taken out by the Greymane. Lunara now focusing onto Orion, is pulling Diablo away from the core, but the core down to 37%. The Punisher still at half health. This core is almost certainly going down here. 15%, 14%. Rhaegar actually getting killed. The counter kill onto Lunara, but the push just too much. GG's to Church of Murky. A 2-0 domination here in this series tonight. So I very quickly update the score. And my voice cracks. Very embarrassing for me. But if we look at this post-game screen, we see Thrall moving ahead of the pack with those all-important chain lightning casts, really doing a lot of damage to Dahaka there in the early game and the late game with Thunderstorm. And we saw Li Ming get a lot of value with those combos and those mid-game engages, but in the end, the Diablo Thrall Rhaegar combo with the slows and the stuns, just too much to handle for even the Iron Skin Johanna with Indestructible to deal with. Very well done from both teams. A back and forth game, but Church of Murky coming out ahead with the 2-0 victory this evening. Let's see if I can wrangle myself an interview here. Let's get a whisper out. Find Orion. We get into lobby 5. There we go. Let's see if we can get someone from Church of Murky on for a quick interview after this domination. Very well played series from both teams there. Very back and forth games on both maps, Volskaya Foundry and Infernal Shrines. But in the end, it was Church of Murky overwhelming with those late game team fights, taking advantage of the structure damage whenever they got the opportunity. We're going to see if anyone wants to jump on with me for a couple quick questions. Let's see. Looks like they're just figuring out who they're going to feed to the wolves. All right. we'll have an interview with Church of Murky shortly. Looks like we're going to get Jay Show. Give them a moment to jump into the lobby. Hello.
Hello.
Let me turn you up just a bit. Perfect. All right. A 2-0 domination by Church of Murky. Very well done.
Yeah, it feels good, especially after last time we got dominated, so.
Well, this division in particular, we've got a lot of these, a lot of skill gaps, a lot of experience gaps. But these two teams looking very even coming into this series. These games actually vary back and forth, but managing to come out in the end was Church of Murky. Very well done. Mm-hmm. I noticed that you guys got pretty much exactly the maps you wanted. A lot of Volskaya, a lot of Infernal Shrines coming out from you this season. Did you get the drafts that you wanted in both of those games?
I felt like it. Or we felt like it, I should say. We were wanting Joe, but Joe's a common first pick on that second map, so...
Mm-hmm.
And then I threw in the Tassadar just because I wanted to try it. And I even went a build I'd never gone before, and it was interesting to try.
Very interesting there. Let me pull up those talents. So you did go the W build. That can do I see how that could work there, especially on Infernal Shrines with everyone in a very condensed area.
Yeah, when I saw that there was a level 1 talent for it, and I was like, it's Infernal Shrines, we want to do wave clear. I think W might be an interesting way to go.
Yeah, so. It was an interesting decision. I was expecting a Sylvanas coming out from you guys, but then I saw the 3rd round ban, so I was interested in what you were going to pick up there, and you pulled out the Tassadar. Very well done there.
Yeah.
Now, if we go back to that Volskaya game for a moment, one thing I did notice was Derk Throws These had your number in the early game with those Garrosh picks, but then you started to make some very specific adjustments, not really showing an opening until the objective spawned. Was that an active change that you guys made?
Yeah, I think we just called out that we're calling out more where they are on the map, making sure we have, where Garrosh is. Making sure that we're going the safe way, avoiding obvious bushes and things like that. So it's changes that you kind of see. Early game, we seem to make little mistakes like that sometimes. We're just kind of seeing what they're trying to do to us and see if we can adjust some.
Yeah, the adjustment was very apparent, very, very well done, making sure that you got as much value off the objectives as possible and minimized losses off the objective. All right, if I take a look at chat, no specific questions. So are there any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to Bagoli always being an awesome healer. Never have enough of those.
The healing was very strong there. I saw a couple times, especially in that Volskaya game, Anduin picking people right out of the air with that leap of faith. Very fun to watch there for sure.
Yoink.
All right, well, a very well-played series there by Church of Murky, and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Hope you enjoy our next game as you're counting it.
I think I'm playing against you next game, actually.
Oh. Well, I hope you enjoy that too.
It will be fun. And I'll see you soon. Great game.
See ya.